Hello, beloveds. How are you today? I pray all is well with you. It's a beautiful day. I'm out in the park, and we're about to do today's love affirmation. I don't know about you, but so far this month has been exciting. I'm anticipating all of the new things that are going to spring up at this time of the year. I have been doing a lot of dialoguing with people and meeting up with good friends and making new friends, and it's been quite interesting and a lot of fun. So, which is a change for me. Fun. So, we're gonna do today's affirmation. Did you guys get a chance to explore the last one that I put up, Mother Manifests? It's kind of deep. It was kind of long too. That was long for me, but it was interesting, and we wound up going over more than one card, but it was good because they all synced. They all confirmed one another. Here it is Bike Week here, so there is noises and motorcycles and music coming and going from all areas, but I'm by the water in the park, and you can hear, all of the traffic surrounding us. But today's card is the Lover and the Beloved. The Lover and the Beloved. Are we really gonna say what this looks like? We know what this looks like. But they're not the only ones. Ooh, it's so many different people in here. And it's looking like they're all couples. Most of them look coupled, face to face, giving or receiving. It's like love is opening up. Like love is opening up, bringing light into darkness, balance. That's what I'm seeing in this card. And it's not just for them, it's for many. I don't know if you can see the details of all the other persons. And most of them are couples. The Lover and the Beloved. Okay, so let's see. With number 35, the Lover and the Beloved, what they're talking about. The Lover and the Beloved. When you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. Okay. It is not enough to love me. I want you to allow me to love you. It is not enough to desire me, to want to be closer to me. I want to reach out to you and grab a hold of you, drawing you into me and never letting you be apart from me again. There is so much more of us to experience, you and me, than simply gazing, even with love, at each other from a distance. Let me take you into my arms. Let me hold you until we cease to know or care where you and I once were, you and I. For instead, we will be one. Will you allow it? Will you allow me? Will you allow us to be? Oh, sweet beloved, the divine, the great beloved, has a passionate desire for you, to love you, to touch you, to make the divine presence known to you, so that you will cease to fear the darkness, take delight in all of life, and become mesmerized by the beauty of love in its endless emanations. But how we resist love at first? Oh yes, we have been burned before, have we not? Abandoned, betrayed, so painfully disappointed, cast aside, and have suffered at the hands of some unworthy lover. That's how we resist love. Can this great divine love affair be tarred with the same brush, with the same bitter expectations that keep the heart closed? You are too beautiful to be hidden away behind a bitter and gated heart. That is unworthy of you. So then, you can allow the great beloved to reach for you, to receive that sacred touch every day, to be spoken to with words of love, to receive. You who give of yourself, can you recognize the beloved wishes to give to you too? This need not be mutually exclusive happenings. Come now, deep down, you know the genius of the divine is such that in being received, much is given. You shall not be selfish in letting yourself be seen and loved. Allow it, rejoice in it. Take delight in allowing yourself to receive life, and let the world soak up the ardent glow of your sensual surrender into the great beloved's embrace. This oracle brings you a message. Something has to change in your physical world. You are in need of more sustenance, more love, more connection, and more nourishment that touches your body and soul and brings them into deeper oneness with each other, with life, with love. Dare you open up and allow that love in. The great beloved has desired that this be so. Will you heed that holy desire? Will you allow love in? Say yes. If you find this difficult, now is the time to gently, carefully tend to the walls you once placed between yourself and life. Walls of tentativeness, excessive caution, fear of abandonment and betrayal, doubt of your own lovableness, and doubts based on past pain without substance. You are so much greater than these crumbling walls. They are the stuff that is designed for demolition, not devotion and honoring. Can you begin to unpack the bricks you mistakenly believed were essential to your safety and well-being? You are too vast a sea for that small puddle of thought now. The oceanic world of love is your true home, and the sun is beating down upon you. It is too hot to gaze at the ocean longingly from afar, or even stand by its edge. Strip off your layers, run to the ocean, and dive in. This oracle brings you special guidance. An offer or opportunity is on its way to you, or has recently been presented. It may be an idea you have been nurturing, or one presented to you by another person. Sit with it. Do you feel exhilaration? Do you feel energy at the thought of saying yes? Then say yes. Allow yourself to receive. There is divine encouragement in taking risks that feel wild and alive to your heart. I like this card. This is very much what I'm presently doing. I kept getting messages from Spirit to, let go, forgive, and open yourself. Take down the walls, and a lot of that I have done. I'm trying to do a lot of that. I don't know how much progress, but there is progress in rebuilding my limited beliefs and behaviors, changing and recognizing them. Which brings me to some of the things that I wanted to share, because in the dysfunction that I grew up in an alcoholic home. And my parents both came from households that had both of the parents present, and there was addiction, there was narcissism, and they each went out into the world and drew the opposites of what they grew up in their household. So they repeated the pattern, as I've said before in previous videos. So I don't even know what to call it, but my dysfunctional behavior or pattern is called codependency, and it's developed from narcissistic abuse. Narcissists are people who they're angry, they're unhappy, they are insecure, they are scared of abandonment, and very controlling. They're very manipulating, and it's like they play mind games to keep control of you, so that they can keep you close to them. And it's not something that they can really help. They learn it and they repeat it, like we all do. We learn patterns and behaviors, and we repeat them. We do what we know, what we learned. But there is a more excellent way, and we have to do the work at seeking out the answers. And my answers came through drawing within myself, asking myself, the pertinent questions. And in doing so, I found out that because of my father's addiction to alcohol, it was attached to his narcissism. What a lot of people don't know is that if you're an adult child of an alcoholic, especially alcoholics, or someone with a serious addiction, or addiction of any kind, if you ask me, then there are certain things and patterns and behaviors that you have learned because of this, especially if they were brought on young in your life. They prevented you from developing certain understandings and behaviors and traits, and instead you build your own mechanisms of self-defense and protection and awareness. And my category is codependency, and that was developed from living on alert all the time, trying to protect, trying to soothe. So I found myself always seeking for acceptance or approval or cues to move, to do things. I was always seeking to be led, to be assured, to be accepted, and I was always in survival mode. And as the oldest child, I did these things to try to calm the storm for our household and try to protect my siblings under me. And, just try to appease my parents so that they would be happy and we'd have less storms, less trauma, less whatever. And as you go through these things, especially in childhood, it becomes your normal. It just becomes the thing. You're so used to it, it's your normal. It does not mean you were not loved. It does not mean that were not protected, even though you weren't protected actually. But my parents were just doing their best. They was doing what they knew how to do. They was doing what was done to them. And here's a little, some of the little resources that I found in my research of codependency. And I'm going to write the names in the description box below. So if you want to check out any of their material or go to their sites, on this platform, YouTube, you can look up their names on YouTube. That's how I studied and got information. And you're gonna find that there are personality types. There's subcategories that these things fall under: narcissism, covert narcissism, codependency, personality disorders, bipolar, schizophrenia, what is it? There's overt and covert codependency, borderline personalities, relationship attachment styles. That's a good one. I think everybody needs to find out, what is your relationship attachment style? There are 4. And I'm going to go over those real quick. But this resource I found from Brianna Mac Williams. She's excellent. I think I've referred to her before in one of these feeds. Brianna Mac Williams. And the 4 attachment styles, relationship attachment styles, is secure, avoidant, anxious, and disorganized. And secure attachment lifestyles, they needs met as a child. Your needs were met as a child. You were paid attention to. You are responsive, helping to being made to be feel safe and cared for, comfortable being close and emotionally intimate, and you have and maintain close, stable relationships. You're comfortable expressing feelings and needs. If you are an avoidant attachment, your caregivers were probably distant, cold, unresponsive, making you independent and self-reliant, not depending on inconsistent people. Close relationships feel like they smother you, like they're impending on your independence. So you pull away. You pull away from intimacy, and it tends to make you feel so intense that you avoid it. And you start allotting time to yourself, for yourself. You resist commitments. Okay, if you're an anxious attachment relationships, anxious attachment style is you're a caregiver. Your caregivers were inconsistent in attending to your needs, so you hold on tightly to try to get needs met. You crave intimacy and never have enough closeness. You question partners' love, your ability to be loved, and seek reassurance. You can be described as needy or clingy. You desperately seek security and attention and can push people away from it. Disorganized. This attachment comes from if you suffered child abuse or severe child neglect. It induces fears, intimacy difficulties, hard to trust people, and you have a hard time regulating your mood, and you disassociate, which means you feel confused about what's happening or how to respond to what's happening. So anxious, disorganized, avoidant, and secure. Those are the 4 attachment styles that come from trauma in your childhood or being subject to parenting or guardians who have suffered addiction of alcohol, drugs, or narcissistic tendencies. And again, Brianna McWilliams, attachment styles in relationships. And she's also on YouTube. She's excellent. And there's another, there's quite a few people. Dr. Les Carter, Dr. Les, L-E-S Carter, and he explores the narcissistic personality disorders. How do you identify? How do you cope with them? How do you survive the relationships you have with them? For most of us who suffer from narcissistic abuse, you have this trait in your family, and there's only 2 ways of dealing with it. One is flee. You just got to separate yourself, disconnect, because their behavior patterns can't be helped. They're going to keep doing it. They don't know how to fix it in themselves. It's in them. But it can be repaired or at least controlled, but it takes work. It takes adaptation. And he talks about how do you have conversations, what are their behavior patterns, what are the trades that they do to groom you, to keep you in their control. And he's very accurate, he's very astute, and he also offers people who have experience in dealing with these behavior patterns, and he offers therapy. People who have therapists who have experience in these areas. And he talks about the strategies to reply to narcs, to how to set boundaries with them, how to maintain your dignity and respect when you're talking to them, how to avoid some of the things that they do to cause you to be triggered, because they're looking for a reaction from you a lot of times. They love bomb you. They trick you into thinking that their behavior doesn't mean what you know it means. Or, oh, I didn't say that. That's not what I meant. They change stuff around. If they make you feel confused or question what you said or believe at the time, those are signs that you're dealing with a narcissistic personality. And There's another lady who is very good that I enjoy watching, and her name is, what is her Martin? Sharon Martin. She's excellent. If you go to Sharon Martin's page, or her Living Well with SharonMartin.com is excellent. A lot of these people that I'm mentioning, they have websites as well as YouTube channels. They offer free information, downloads, notes, journals, all kind of good stuff. I mean, I really got a lot of informative information, and they have free tests that you can take that will tell you where you are on the spectrum, or even if you're on the spectrum. But I have to say it's a broad spectrum, and the two main categories is codependency and narcissism, and the subcategories under each, if you investigate and do some research, you'll discover you're in there somewhere. And everybody, I don't care who you are, does display some narcissistic tendencies because we're human. But that doesn't make you a narcissistic personality. If you have a narcissistic disorder, then you are going to check a lot of boxes in those categories. You can also look up a few guys. There's a few actual narcissists that are on YouTube as well, and I'll visit that side because I don't have them all gathered. But even if you look under the ones that I gave you, they'll discuss narcissism, and it'll lead you to them, because that's how I found the other side of this. So at any rate, we're almost too long here, but I hope these resources have helped you. I will put them in the description below. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, the little bell, ring the little bell if you want to be notified when I put up a new video. And feel free to comment. I welcome interaction. I'm not scared to ask questions. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm learning. We can learn together. If you have questions, if you have an insight or perspective that I haven't addressed or am not aware of, share. That's why I'm here. I'm not a professional. I'm just sharing my experience on this journey of self-discovery and self-love and adapting, learning and relearning. So I hope y'all have a blessed day full of power and light and love, and I'll see you on the other side in the future. I see you in the future. I see you in the future. I'll see you in the future.